Not Stefan, Stephen.
Stephen. Spelled as Stefan.
Oh, I see. So, is CNN running? Are we ready? Oh. Okay, understood. We're 2 seconds. We have 2 seconds, guys. Here we go. CNN switching the camera back on. Okay. Okay. So, Mederic Degoy and his helper here, Stefan, we've known Mederic for so many years. Mederic is perhaps a world expert on certain forms of energy and electromagnetic healing. One of his many businesses is RayNX, which is a German specialist, very high-level expertise in frequencies and healing. And he knows the frequency tables for what heals what. It's all in his head. It's amazing. Mederic also
slight exaggeration.
Mederic also took the Planck fire concept, Planck times golden ratio, and did more mathematics, exquisite programmer, and about double the number of natural physical variables predicted by Planck times golden ratio exactly. The new website, lphi.link, which he's going to talk about also in a minute. And Mederic has also taken our many years of work on heart coherence, the heart tuner, to actually another new level he's going to tell you about. Heart coherence.
Biocoherence.
Biocoherence. And so measuring heart harmonics to do healing and diagnostic, amazing software. Very, very capable person is Mederic. Mederic has an incredibly magical family, which you may not get to meet, but they're all incredibly talented, and they're like central to many of the magic things that happen in Perpignan, so this is cool. And we just recently met Stephen, who was able to speak Irish with Lisa, which was but he's deeply into all these healing things, and he's helping actually Mederic with the technical aspects of biocoherence. So, without further ado, we're grateful that Mederic was able to come. And
so I speak. Yeah. Thanks, Dan. So there were some slight exaggerations in Dan's presentation because he's really fond of us, and I thank you for him for that.
I love the French accent too.
Yeah, sorry for my accent. I'm actually a local. A savage, you know. So I think for us it all started with my wife Christine when we were about 18, and we were really interested in meditations and things like that. And we researched traditional ways to meditate, and it was really difficult. And we lived in Paris, which was even more difficult to meditate. And then life happened. I made some sound engineering school studies. Then we have a web agency. We had 3 kids. And sometimes in 2010, our second kid, Isis, daughter, was gluten intolerant, and we tried the official way to get just a paper to get her a special diet in school. But it was more or less impossible in hospital, of course. And we already had some weird friends, you know, like you all do. And one weird friend told us, "Oh, there is a weird guy in the mountain close from here. He has a strange device, and maybe you can try with him." So we tried, and she was cured in 1 session. And we were just thinking something is wrong, deeply wrong with the official medicine. So we started a non-profit, an association of therapists. We actually both place in Prague with 8 different offices, and we started to create a center. So that was 2011 or 12. And 1 year after that, the French distributor for RayNX, which is the device that cured ISIS, went down. And we already knew a lot of practitioners, and so they asked me if I could take back the distribution. And I went to RayNX. I saw that it was a serious company, so I said yes. So more or less for a few years, still to this day, we are the distributors for many devices in France. But all of these devices have some amazing things and some frustrating things. So at one point, I started to want to develop my own device. I actually found some documents I wrote back in 2013 with first meditations. My first goal was to create a meditation platform that any creator could use to create meditations, but it was too complicated and honestly a bit dangerous, because you really have to trust the people that create the meditations, because it's really powerful. So it went in and out for a few years. But finally, flash forward 10 years, and in 2022, I made a first version of biocoherence, which was not named biocoherence at this time, which was just a bunch of very complicated calculations, slow-moving and not nice. And it took 2 more years to make it something fast-moving, very nice, and nobody sees the calculations. Because there are literally trillions of calculations in this thing. And by the way, it's 100% calculations and 0% random number generator, unlike almost most of the devices on the market, which are 100% random generators. So this is one of the key differentiation points of this work. So we met Dan maybe in 2010 or something like that, or 11, around the creation of this center. I think that was probably the place that we met. Yes, in Prague. Yes. So we became friends, and we actually had the first therapy on Earth, I think. Yeah. Because we had this healing center, and we had opened a second healing center in Perpignan with also 8 offices. So it was the place where everybody would meet to make some tests with this first therapy. And surprisingly, my wife became clairvoyant. That was not something I had on my bingo card. But she actually saw all the energy that was happening inside the bodies of people when they were into the therapy field. So Dan started to ask her to just state her feelings. And at first she was a bit reluctant, because we were like, okay, we don't know if this is real or not. But you know, when you do something 1,000 times and 1,000 times it says something right, you tend to acquire some confidence in the thing. So she actually started to heal people with the therapy. And she still is today. So she's mainly guiding people to gather their inner strengths and resources, and direct the therapy energy on the proper blockages. And she wrote some books because she's, like me, a researcher. So she made a first book which is called 33 Treasures, which is 33 energetic tools that she found in her customers' energy fields, and that could be called by anybody. And the main idea behind that is that we all have very strong resources in us, things that we can rely on to heal what is needed. So she made a few more books that are currently under almost printed. It's still on the last corrections, which will really be her theory of resources and priorities, and it's called prologic. So prology. It's like emotion decoding, but on the positive side. We are pathologically optimistic people. And we always see things from the good side, because we are not interested in seeing things from the bad side. So we don't want to focus on diseases and problems, but we want to focus on core strengths and inner energy, you know, because this can actually heal you. So this is mainly based on Christine's work in our now 10 years of therapy sessions. And at one point, we were thinking about how to make her abilities usable by anybody. So that's where I came from as a programmer. I tried to do a digital Christine, which actually works. It's amazing. Yes, she's my cyber Christine. So there is no real AI inside, it's just basic calculations, but if you know AI, it's only calculations, so somehow I might have rewritten some AI algorithm by myself in calculating all of these things. There are more like 1,400 biomarkers, which I gathered from literally thousands of studies. And I just made the link between people that usually don't speak together, like people studying ETG and people studying meridians, or people studying Ayurveda, traditional medicines. And I just linked every study that could be linked together to get proper results for that. And there is also Christine's work on her forthcoming, forthcoming book is about your life missions. So life missions will be soon integrated in the app, and that is really interesting. So there are a lot of different studies, so it's really backed in science. What I try to do is make it simple, make literally billions of calculations, but you don't see it. On that one point, we were discussing with Christine and Isis. Isis is my second daughter, and she's not studying architecture in Paris. And she went in Bali last year to meet. Yeah. Yeah. So she is in a way to become a sacred geometry architect too. Yeah. So we had a discussion on the terrace in February, and we said, okay, Dan's work is amazing, but we need a catch name for that. And we came to Elphi, which is Planck length times phi, and which is Elphic. And if you see Elphic architecture, you see that it's based on golden ratio. So it makes sense. Plus, this guy uncannily resembles me, so. So I dig a bit into it, and I found a lot of different, very, very close matches to the Elphic cascade. So when it's less than 2%, it's in green. So there are actually a lot of very interesting things. For instance, this one is nice. The space between myelin sheets is an Elphic proportion, which explains why you need myelin to accelerate neuron transmissions.
That's the insulator, that's the spark gap.
Yeah. But you also find it in microtubules, which is probably the link between consciousness and our body, which is really interesting. You find it in easy water at 0.05% precision. You know easy water, Gerald Pollack? Yeah. Yeah. I published his book in French too. And I did an interview of him, but I think it's not online yet. I also did a movie, but I don't have time to finish it. It's called In Reality, and it's about the nature of reality. So I interviewed 42 people, and I just put a few online. The most important is Tom Campbell, who is an amazing guy, and I made an interview of him. So I think you'll get more info on Elphi with the Fractal U conference that we did. You probably also.
Nice film with
that. I will not do the same as the Fractal U presentation because it's already existing. So I will probably just dig a little bit deeper into the app. So it's used with one of these devices, which is
right underneath.
Yeah, which look like that. So it's a medically grade ECG measurement device.
EKG, ECG.
Yeah, full spectrum, of course, because we need full spectrum. So when you are into the app, you can actually see the pulse wave.
With real data.
Yeah. So this is an actual recording, and you see that the pulse wave that you usually see is the blue one. But the real pulse wave has a lot of higher frequency information. And this is in this higher frequency that we will also find a lot of data. So this displays the traditional pulse wave average and the fuel pulse wave. So if yes, each of this one is a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So this is a heartbeat, this is a heartbeat,
Okay.
and so on.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is a fuel wave. So you can actually compare them side by side if you want. So
What's the bottom line?
you can see each wave one after the other. It's honestly, you don't use it every day in the app. This technical information is just more to show you that it comes from somewhere. But as a therapist, you don't use it unless you make some real research. But if someone doubts it, you can just say, oh, okay, there are some frequency calculations. And there are some harmonic calculations, which is a second order spectrum, a cepstrum.
That's where we invented the concept of heart coherence.
Yes, and that comes from Dan's work on real heart coherence. You see this peak here, and this peak here. This means that currently on this bit, there is a strong coherence in the different frequencies that you can find in the bit. And you see that here you have a strong line, which means that it's pretty coherent all the time.
And we determined that you could actually use that measurement of coherence as a lie detector and as kinesiology. It's a real indicator if your heart's a laser.
And you can also see the evolution of any biomarker. So you can work on any kind of biomarker. But this is more, again, this is more the technical page, and you don't really use it. What you will use is energy, body, and mind. So I organized it in energy, body, and mind because it makes sense. And because, again, I had thousands of biomarkers, and I had to find a way to make it useful for everyday usage. Just going back a little bit, this is the result of a scan. So a scan is just a recording. You do a recording for a few minutes, and you just have images like that you can go into and get a lot of information. And maybe I won't have time to dig into it, but we have actually a 120 pages manual, which is here, which explains a lot of things. And we have tutorial videos, and we will do weekly seminars.
Weekly training
Yeah,
seminars.
in French and English, and probably soon in Korean, because we have a distributor in Korea too. We actually have a distributor in the US now. So
Where in the U.S.? Do you remember the city?
he's in Ohio, I think.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
He's in Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah.
Ohio.
Big city.
I don't remember the exact place. Yeah. So one way to start is to make a scan and to go into the scan. Another way to start is to make tests. And when you make tests, you will do individual biofeedback tests from individual elements that you can create by yourself. It means that if you are an expert in this kind of products or this kind of healing techniques, you can just create a list of different options and just test it and get immediate results of how the body reacts to this information. And this information could be text, pictures, frequencies, or anything. So you would do a real-time test. And plus, as a bonus, when you finish the test, it will be a ready scanner. So you can actually, at the end of the test, directly dig into the scanner.
That's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What?
Scan now.
Yes, we could do a scan, but I will just go quickly into the different pages. So things like chakras. But as you can see, you see links, which is a very important part of this app. So you can have actually 12 chakras if you want, or 7 chakras. You see the links, and when you click on it, for instance, you can see that Ajna is related to Manipura, and you can also see it here, because it's actually sending energy to Manipura. So we have a way to calculate that every biomarker is linked to every other biomarker, either by sending energy or by receiving energy, which makes a cascade of events and which allows us to find your most potent resources. Because at the end, what we want to do is show you your resources and show you your priorities and connect them together. So we have a lot of screens because I'm trying to integrate everything that I know. So clocks, momentums, which is, I won't dig into it. Chinese influences, atoms, organisms, which is actually a way to see relationships between benevolent or malevolent organisms, which is reserved to pros because it could be insulting for non-trained people to see that. Then you have the body. So for the body, I have 3 maps. So we can have also 20 meridians. So for instance, you can see the bladder meridian. You can see what other meridians it's related to. But if you click on it, you can have a lot more information and a lot of why is it in French? Sorry. A lot of decoding information right here, including emotional links.
Can you see the blockages in that?
More or less, yes. You can see that this one is the strongest, and it sends information to another one. But this one, for instance, receives information from GB and BR. So this is actually good information because one of the next screens I'm working on is the causal chain, where if you are on Liver, you can see the whole causal chain of where the energy comes from, which is causal. Causal. Sorry for my French.
I understand.
It's kind of beautiful.
Yeah, it's melodic.
You can also, so let's go back to meridians. You can also actually compare recording by recording, which means that this is the whole session, but this is the first part of the session. Then I did something with the customer, some healing practice, and then I did a second recording, and I can see what's moving. And then I did something else, and I can again see what's moving, something else, again see what's moving. So you can actually compare side by side, or you can even play it on the whole recording. Because this is a living system. So when you have a device that just shows you something static, it's false. The reality of things is that everything is as a respiration. On this respiration, you can see it here. In this information, attention, intention, and horizon, which are calculated on the fuel wave evolution of this particular biomarker. So again, this is explained here. And you see the main cycle and the half cycle, which is something that, for instance, osteopaths are working with. Every organ or every energetic system in your body has a cycle, has a respiration cycle, and you can actually calculate it here. So this is, moving like that. So now if you want to zoom into meridians, let's go back to 14. We can actually zoom into points. And then you have 420 points with actual information on each point, on what links, what quality it has, and so on. But what is really interesting is that for meridian points on organs, you can directly have a best elements of energy, entropy, and coherences. So, for instance, for meridians, if I go to energy, I will see the most energetic and the least energetic. But if I go to points, I will not see the points, I will actually see the MTC recipes. The recipes.
Yes.
And the recipes are a collection of different points that traditional medicine healers actually use. So, for instance, you have a sinus problem, and they would use LE20, LE4, and ST36 to heal that problem. So I just reverse engineered it, and I said, okay, if these 3 points have something in common, let's say that this traditional medicine, Chinese medicine recipe will be useful. Yeah.
Very useful.
Yeah.
I use acupuncture, and they were sticking needles on my hand.
Yeah, and so we have actually hundreds of such recipes that are calculated from the point information, and so this can give you some immediate healing ways. Okay, and then we have organs, and for organs we have a lot of maps. So same, you can see the links between all organs. You can see information about that, cycles and so on. You can see all the organs it's linked with. But you can also zoom into different, You can also zoom into different maps, like the teeth, for example. And so if you click on the teeth, you will see the links. If you go into vertebrae, for instance, if you click on it, you will see the links. But you can also see which are the most energetic, or which are the most agitated, or which one are in coherence, meaning that they move together. So they are deeply linked. And so we have a lot of maps like that. This is actually Christine that drew them. Is that Jew? Jew, sorry. Brain, nervous system. So you can basically click on anything. So if you really want to do a deep dive into a scan, you can go very, very deep. And then the mind, I did a personality map. So this is the Jung personality type, or maybe you know it as MBTI, which is actually based on Jung. So I put the two names, the MBTI name and the original Jung name. And this is based on calculations from the pulse. So this is your personality, but your unconscious personality, because it comes from your body. Okay, so it actually proved very real from our tests, and we have a lot of people saying that's crazy because it's telling too much things about me. But there is a real use, because I will show you then how we balance people, and we use this to start a meditation and speak into the language of what people can hear. So according to their personality type, we will start the meditation with different texts, because we will speak differently to an explorer or to a bon vivant or something like that. They will, bon vivant. Yeah, bon vivant.
So you create a incantation sort of, because words are every word has power.
We create a custom meditation. We have more than 400 texts recorded that will be arranged in a custom meditation with about 15 or 20 texts for you, plus binaural bits, frequencies, sounds, and so on.
Meditation driver.
Yeah, that was my first goal, create a meditation app. But meanwhile, as I use a lot of devices to make some analysis, I wanted to, before being able to create the meditations, I wanted to have a few real way to see what's happening. So it means with the basic version, you would just do a recording and go straight to do a meditation or just play frequencies. But if you are a therapist, you can spend 1 hour in all the screens and explaining everything to the customer.
It's like our flame and sound is supposed to be the world's most powerful bliss binaural, but this is the ultimate customization. Their implosion sound drives the center point.
This one you will recognize. So we actually have some healthy values here. This is still a work in progress, but we are working on scale, and we are working on real hertz coherence, which is Dan's equation, and embedded implosion, which is how much your energy is focused on the healthy values.
Which is implosive compression.
Yeah. So 90% is pretty good. 98%, sorry. And because I'm a musician and a bit crazy, I also wrote a fuel chord detector in your pulse, which means that I can actually know that you are in F sharp 5/7 minor for this period, and I use it in the meditation to feed you your own chord and learn you to focus on your inner energy.
Your own music.
Your tone,
Your inner music.
your tone.
That's like a
Yeah,
voice.
yeah, it's your tone, and it's your chord. It's not only your tone, it's your whole chord.
If you get abducted, that's how the aliens find you again, with your tone.
Is that like a voice print, like voice bio?
No.
It's a
No. It's a real analysis of the actual frequencies that are in your ECG fuel spectrum.
Okay, not from your voice, but from
No,
your body.
yeah,
Okay.
from your body.
Yep.
So it's the music of your body.
Yeah, that's how they find you.
And then you can inform your DJ or your guru.
This is something we will speak later, because all I'm showing you here is one recording in one session, but in a future version, there will be a possibility to make several recordings together, either locally or remotely, all around the world, and focus on one leader or just see the compatibilities and etc. between two people. So that will be also a possibility.
There are only 12 notes, so everybody is one of those 12 notes.
Yes, but I have 420 different chords.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
It's the
combination.
musical fundamentals.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Well, there's different scales.
you get along with people with the same kind of frequency?
Yeah.
Is that the implication?
And eventually a global healing meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Link the world.
with this next version, you can do one-to-one recording, so either locally or in different parts of the world, and just tune two people together, and also see what are the core strengths and links, and what is not so much linked, and maybe at one point build something to create some more bonds.
Harmony.
Yeah, harmonize two people. But there will be also a possibility to have one driver. So for instance, someone that leads the meditation, who will be recording, and 1 million people that will receive this information and tune to this information.
Praying with their guru, for example,
Yeah.
their saint,
No,
or
it's
their
like,
DJ.
it's like the thing with all the clocks in the room, the
Yeah.
pendulums, and eventually you're trying to get them to sync up. This is not waiting for them to sync up, you're providing the driver for the sync.
Yeah. I'm tuning people to one leader. And it can also be used in professional settings. For instance, if you do a group setting,
Yes, conflict resolution.
yeah,
You're tuning to 1 meter? What are you tuning to?
One leader.
I'm tuning to one leader.
Leader, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
Sorry
one
again.
key that
No,
everybody.
yeah, no, I
Yeah.
get it. I thought you said meter or
Yeah.
meter.
You can use it in a corporate setting for creating one body.
Maybe I should speak French. It would be easier.
No, I get it, but it's the same, yeah.
Yeah. And then you can, as I showed you, this recording has 4 parts. You can actually see the evolution of each of the biomarkers you like across all the recordings. But you can have as many parts as you want. You can do actually a new part if you want. It connects to you. Oh no, it's connecting to me.
Tout ça, ça vient d'une touche.
And he can also take data from the iWatch, alternatively from the.
Yeah, we can read from an iWatch. So it's not live, but we can do recording on an iWatch and open it and import it. So this opens possibility for millions of people that have an iWatch and don't know what to do with it.
And that's a real EKG, guys. That's
Yeah.
the real thing, real time.
So you're finding happier people are harmonics of the Dan constant?
What?
Or 432?
Yeah, well, you could global bliss entrainment, absolutely.
Is that working? Or is that the data that's
We
coming back?
called it harmonic module. We first conceived this concept, make it global. You know, the
Yeah.
sun output changed measurably when 1 million children sing the same song. Now we can do it.
But again, this is one biomarker across 1,400. But this is an important one.
Yeah, well, because too, with the sound, you can self-generate.
Yeah,
You can tune in your own sound, and like the happier you get, the better you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally the
Is
heart
this currently
song.
scanning you right now? This is you we're seeing? Cool.
It's real. No, this is real time.
He's holding it right now.
That's his EKG.
I will remove it. 3, 2, 1, tack. Okay.
That was real. And you do the power spectrum of that, you do incredible diagnosis.
Okay, so this is calculating right now.
Does it upload or is it
It's entirely local.
is it feeding through the Bluetooth
No, yes, there is a Bluetooth LE, so it's very low energy
and the data is coming through?
from the Bluetooth to the computer, but there is no internet link. Nothing is happening on internet. It's entirely local. So this is already calculated, you know. And now I have a new part here.
It's going to tell us you have a cold.
Probably yes.
How would we do it? Sign it?
And now you see I have this new part here. But in principle, this is something that I want people to do every day before starting a meditation, because when people start to do meditation, it should be a 21-day long commitment. So you start the meditation, and every day you will do a new recording, and it will modify the meditation according to your evolution. And you will also have some nice graphs like that of your evolution. So the meditation will actually change with the frequencies, the durations of different events. Maybe it will remove some parts, maybe it will add other parts. It will all be based on the initial recording, on what you decided to do. But it will be evolving across the 21 days, because it is all based on this balance part, which is Christine's work, priorities and resources. So if you go to resources, you can see that it has calculated that, for instance, my brain cortex auditory is my resource. But if me as a therapist, I'm discussing with the client and we feel a better connection with ventricles or speech or trachea or tongue, I can just change it, okay? So this is entirely free for the therapist to change the resources if needed. So it's automatically calculated, but you can tweak it. Same for the priorities. It's automatically calculated. So, for instance, it's found that I have to work on my lung, surprisingly. Yeah, and it found some TCM points and so on. But, for instance, it found some heavy metals that I have to work on. But if I want to explore this, I can just change it and add some other elements if I want. So to add an element from any page on priorities, I just have to click here. And I'm just adding it to the things to do. So this can be done from any page. It means if I am on body and I'm working on this one, and I want to add the bladder, boom, it's added.
So have you found you can balance your heavy metals through your tone then? By toning?
I can probably balance the effects of heavy metals and probably create a detox.
Yeah.
Probably create a detox. But
Release the heavy metal.
Dragging it out the hard way.
Love heavy metal music.
yeah.
No, it is. Yeah. He's right.
Okay, so you can generate a full PDF report and share this report with a customer. So you have everything here. Resources with explanations, priorities with all explanations. Frequency plan, we will see that. So here we have a frequency protocol. With what is notable on the full meditation text. And you can, if you want, save it or print it or just share it and send it via message, for instance, or an essay.
Does the software incorporate a frequency generator to
Yes.
make the tones?
Yes.
Good.
So if you as a therapist, you are not completely happy with this PDF report, you can just go to organs and maybe add a comment. This is my comment. Yes. And maybe hide the frequency because I don't want the user to see it. And so now it will be changed and you will not have the frequencies and you will have a comment here. This is my comment. This is actually a bit like a social network because both the professional and the client can add comments and it could be a discussion.
The professional version.
Yeah, yeah. And the end user version. You can also ask questions like that. So this will lead us to the pro directory, which will connect every user in the world, including the millions of users who have just an Apple Watch, with every pro in the world. And you can, as a pro, receive the recording, work on it, make some amendments or recommendations, send it back to the user, make real-time tests if you want. So if you want to make some tests, it will be tested on the user's device directly, and follow the user remotely with his evolution and so on. So frequencies. So my principle is that there are some physiological frequencies which are in white and some pathological frequencies which are in blue. And both are embedded together. It means that if I want to work on harmony, it will work with the lung because both frequencies will be fed together. So if I do that, both frequencies will be fed together. Which means the energy of the therapy protocol will be directed to the organ. You can actually export it if you want. So it will be building an audio file and you can save it or share it as an MP3. And you can play it on any device. If you want to feed it, for instance, through Dan's device, you can just save it to an MP3 player, put the MP3 player, connect the MP3 player with your Piezo-Fire device and continue your session analysis and so on while the customer receives the actual electromagnetic frequencies that you created during the session. Why not?
There's the curing of the balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you explain again, please, the white and the blue? You said
Okay, so the whites are physiology, so it's organs, emotions, it's everything that is inside you. So it can be energetic things, it can be body things, organs, or it can be mind things, emotions, and so on. So you want to work on the ajna, for instance, and you want to add protocols. You just click Add Protocols, and you will be proposed 136 related protocols that could be useful for this customer. So you, as a professional, you would just maybe add this one, and now it's here. So if I export, when I play the ajna, it will be played with serotonin liberation. Sorry, some things are still in French because I was in French here earlier. And the durations, you will recognize them because it's actually healthy values.
Implosions.
Yeah.
Collapse.
So the durations are automatically calculated, but you can change it.
So it, in other words, the pressure wave and longitudinal, so when you're generating the frequency, if I'm understanding what you just said, is that like the duration, but is it not just the frequency, but it's also the pulse?
Not the pulse, but we mix the frequencies of the organ with the frequencies of the healing protocol.
Okay.
So it allows to, in simple terms, it makes the organ resonate and receive the proper frequencies because it's resonating. So it's like activating the organ and feeding in the corrective frequencies, which is actually a very powerful way to do things. And until now, for instance, with Rayonix, we need 2 devices. That's what we teach our users to do. One device will play the physiological frequencies, and one device will play the protocols or curative frequencies. And so this way we see that there is a much better healing process.
That's what I was,
much quicker.
That's what I was trying to ask. In the protocols, right? So the protocols create a tone, and it's not a stellated pattern. You know, I use pressure, but it's like, okay, so this frequency is on, and then there's like 6 frequencies that is the protocol.
Yeah.
So it plays them all at once, or is it stellated so that it plays 1 and 2 for this long, 3 and 6 for
Exactly.
this long?
Exactly.
It's like
Yeah.
that? Okay. Well,
As you can hear, it plays for 6.73 seconds and then reloads your energy because it re-stimulates you every 6.73 seconds.
About 10 minutes more.
There you go.
What?
About 10 minutes more.
Can we get a drum beat behind that?
What?
Get a drum beat behind that?
Oh.
Or techno?
For that you have to go to balance.
Yeah, right.
Because balance is actually your own meditation. So this will create your meditation with all your priorities. And you can see the text. And you can say, okay, it's 75 minutes, it's too much for today, so I will just target it for 28 minutes. So you see, it removes something on the bottom. Oh, well, okay, after all, let's go to 49 minutes. Okay, it will add some elements. So it will calculate your priorities and it will adapt the meditation to the time you want to give it. Because you are the one making it. It's not the device that chooses for you, it's you that chooses for the device.
So you want to self-generate the sound, though? Wouldn't
Yes.
You match it with your own
Everything is in real time.
So you'd want to sing yourself, self-generate. If you're getting
No, you're
fed a
hearing
frequency.
from the
Okay, I'll show you the meditation. So you can see the text. And again, it's in French, sorry. So you will see, you see this is a 2 minute 40 seconds dive made for the idealist. Okay. Then you have some breath work for this particular chord, which is 3 minutes.
Breath work.
Yeah. Then you have some EMDR. Okay. Then you have some EFT. Then you will call your resource meridian. Then you will direct it to the lung meridian, and so on and so on. And if you want to play it, you just have to play it.
For EMDR, you get directions?
Yeah.
Great.
This is the healthy cascade.
Oh, it's healthy. Yes, that's
This is directing you to a C major scale because it's important. And then it will direct you to your own chord.
Take a moment to find a comfortable position, allowing your body
That's Christine.
to relax. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in feeling the air.
This is breathwork. I skipped it. So this is the next one. So this is breathwork with your actual chord that we measure in your body. So this will be different. We have 420 different chords.
Resonance of the C major 7th chord. Allow its warm, open quality to envelop your being. Feel the gentle balance it offers. As if...
And so on. So everything is live generated because I'm crazy enough to have written a fuel sequencer. And at one point you will be able to export it, but exporting a 75 minutes file is quite long. So right now it's not possible to export it. You have to live play it, but it's not really a problem. No. And anyway, the idea is that each day you will receive, you will want to make your balance and you will do a reevaluation. So for that, it will just ask you to measure your gain. And it will tweak the meditation according to your current state. So maybe it will be a different chord. Maybe we will go faster on this part or this one, and so on.
But when you said,
Yeah.
sorry, when you said that you suggest two sources of frequency, do you mean like two speakers or like?
It's always better with headphones, particularly really because we use binaural bits.
Yes,
Yeah.
to conjugate, pair to conjugate.
But we use binaural bits, we use pure frequencies, we use sounds, and the sound is pretty immersive. There is some white noise that is breathing around you, and the voices and so on. So my goal is that for each specific part, like meridians, organs, there is a different sound ambience. So for instance, for the meridians, I'm actually playing all the points to the speed of your actual meridian. So it means it makes a cascade like, but the speed is actually tuned to how your meridian is currently. For organs, we have different things. For chakras, we have different things. For chakras, you can actually hear your chakra rotating.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you need a level of, like your laptop, do you need like a DAC or something when it's generating the sound? Do you need a certain
No.
level of, it doesn't matter?
No. Any laptop, it works on iPad, on iPhone, soon on Android, on Windows, Mac, Linux. Nobody's on Linux, but it works. So it works. It really works everywhere.
Okay.
And the idea is that when we have the end user version, which will be really bare bone with that, it must work on any device anyway. So.
So this is ready to buy, it's ready.
What?
On the market, it's on the market.
It's in beta, so you can go on biocoherence.net and you just register for the beta, and technically you can download the app immediately. So
The device itself?
the device is here. I've brought a box of devices, so if you want to get some now, it would be a good idea to take them now instead of us shipping them to you. And when you buy a device, you have a 1 month free pro code that unlocks everything for 1 month. So you have time to test everything and make your own idea if it works or not. Because I'm not the one to say that it works for you. It's you that say that it works for you.
How much are they there? How much are they?
Yes, sorry. That's 199 euros. And for the app, you have subscriptions from 20 to 40 euros a month for your personal usage, and 80 to 280 euros a month for professional usage, which means you can do an unlimited number of customers, synchronize them to the cloud, export everything, and so on. And you can also buy lifetime licenses if you're not into paying every month. So
$200 and then 20 a month?
yeah, for your personal usage. Yeah. 20 a month is for your personal usage, but many screens are blurred. Okay, 40 euros a month for your personal usage. You have all screens, but only for 4 people, which is your family. Okay. Biocoherence.net.
Yeah, biocoherence.net.
Ah, sorry. Ooh.
There's a we only have a few minutes left. I don't know, it's up to Mederic if he wants to. A few more questions, or? Ralph?
So you just have to click here, join the waiting list, and you will get immediately. But you have a lot of information here. And so you can see all screens and so on. And you also have a preview of all modules. You can download the PDF manual if you want, but for that you have to create an account. The manual exists in French, English, and Korean. And you also have all video tutorials here. So you can see all the video tutorials. There is a lot.
You want to do a couple questions?
I will show you quickly list and items because this is the other way of testing things. So if you want to start not with a scan, but with a test, you can just click here, live test. And you will be presented with 34,000, so 3,400 tests, which is a lot. And you can create your own test. So for instance, I created some meditations here, and I can just choose to see if EFT or BSFF or EMDR is good for me, and I will just do a test like that, and it will record my biofeedback information and see how my body reacts to this information.
It's like using kinesiology, but it's more direct.
Yeah, it's like kinesiology, but you can create your whole. There are too many devices here. Yeah.
You have to select the test before the connection, because I tried this and all I would get was red. It would just like freeze red and I couldn't figure out.
Okay, maybe you have to update the app because honestly there was still bugs. So I do an update every week, something like that, and every week it's better. So just update it.
I was like, what is going on? Okay.
So this is a list that I created so I can edit it. And if I edit it, I'm going into the list editor and I can actually see what pre-evaluation organs, for instance, it has. So I have the full text. I have the audio meditation.
Imagine yourself surrounded by a gentle, warm light.
So this is not real time. When you create a meditation, you then submit it to us. We review it, and if we approve it, we create the audio. Okay. So this one is also available in French.
Imaginez-vous entouré d'une lumière douce et chaude.
But if I want to create a new item, I would just new meditation. So let's say this is a very simple meditation that lasts 1 minute to calm me down. And then I have a magic write here. This is actually one of the only parts that leverage AI. So when I click on magic write, it will just fetch some text from our, so I have created some prompts so that this text perfectly fits into the global meditation, because this is just a chunk into maybe 25 different chunks of the meditation for the customer. So it will create this text according to the description. And if you are happy with it, it could magic guess actions. And for that, it will say, okay, this meditation according to the text will calm your abdomen, calm your brain, calm your chest, even your heart, calm your neck, and calm your shoulders. Okay? And this is available in all list items, and this is what allows us to make a direct pre-evaluation of any lists when you have a scan. It means that if I go back to, yes, I'm still in a scan. So if I go into list and items, and I go into meditations, okay, maybe I have to reopen. And then I will let you some questions.
Yeah, we only have about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You really have the next speaker. So amazing.
Okay. Anyway, what I wanted to show you is that list items can be pre-ordered according to the effects of each item that you stated and the current state of the customer. So it means if you stated that this particular product, for instance, would calm his liver, and his liver is very agitated, it will be ranked higher. So you can have a fuel here, if you look into herbs, for instance. If I was in a scan, I could order it by scan evaluation. Oh, okay, I can it. But it's a very short recording, so we don't have all information. So you can see why this particular herb is good for me, because it will lower kappa, lower pita, and higher vata, which is good for me. Okay? So you can actually create all these lists with your own knowledge, and this is limitless. And you can share this list with every pro customer, and you can choose to sell them. It means that if someone wants to use this list, you can earn money each time someone uses it.
How by sound frequency of that plant or that?
There is there might be frequencies, or there might be just information. So, for instance, this product list, it will not be included into a meditation. It will just be the information that your customer needs, parsley, for instance, parsley.
Essential oils.
Yeah.
Need to eat the parsley or they
Yeah.
hear the
Yeah, sure, because not everything comes from a meditation. Sometimes you need the actual product. Yeah. So if you are into a product list, you will just be shown the product. But if you are in a meditation list, it can be added, just like that. I can add some BSFF, for instance, to my meditation, and boom, it's added.
coming soon.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, it's 2 minutes.
Yeah. Questions?
Yeah, I have
So-
one remark.
Yeah.
You test your body under Bluetooth. Do you have a cable connection so that you can...
We don't, but it's Bluetooth LE, and I can assure you I'm very sensible, and Bluetooth LE is like 1 million times lower than Bluetooth. So you cannot sense it.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing, one of our main parameters for how good we are is the total vital energy level.
Yeah.
Can you get that from your data?
More or less, I can get some
Indirect.
planes information and connection to Earth and Sun. So this is actually how much you are grounded or not vertical,
That's not what I mean.
Yeah.
The level of how full is your tank? So I measure this geometrically. So where is my
This is
total
probably
vital
here.
energy now?
This is probably here. Total power.
Total power?
Total power and stress index. That's actually one of the few things that comes from official ECG research.
Total power.
So that,
Yeah.
you should compare that sometime, Dr. Ralph, their total
Yeah.
power with your measurement.
Measuring this
Yeah.
geometrically and comparing to
Yeah.
electronic
Yeah, sure.
measurement would be
See if
good.
the
Yeah.
EKG predicts.
I think it would
could
be
be the
stacking
tool.
his
It should
charts.
work.
Yours, how he calls.
Yeah, maybe combining some of the measurements
Right.
and getting the total vital energy level. Yeah, thank you. Mederic, what are your plans to translate the meditations into other languages?
Okay, so we are currently finishing French. We will probably do Korean next. Yes, and then it's open, so it depends where we have distributors. So who want to become a distributor?
Wisconsin.
We actually have signed an exclusivity for whole USA with this distributor. So, but he is open to work with a lot of people. So we already sent him some people that wanted to work together. So it's
That's the Ohio guy?
yeah.
Mederic, you said,
He's actually a member of a university, so it's very good. Yeah.
was that LED Bluetooth? Is that what you said?
LE,
LE, low power.
low emission.
Low emission Bluetooth, okay. And then the question here is it common that two Bluetooth devices, like a brainwave device, yours might be able to be used at the same time?
No problem.
Yeah?
I can do recordings of hundreds of sensors at the same time.
You can have multiple.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bluetooth is pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what version it is, but yeah.
Yeah.
For multiple.
Cool. Cool. Oh, there's one more.
Yeah, there was also. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I know you have a very large PDF manual. Do you have a presentation, like the presentation you've just given, recorded somewhere?
I hope this one was been recorded. So we actually have several presentations here where you can see some webinars and things we did.
That's one of them was made with Fractal U.
Yeah, and we plan to do more, and we also plan to do webinars each week. Anyway, so.
A question in the back, I think.
Yeah.
If you can take sensor readings from multiple sensors, multiple people, can you create a combined reading?
Yeah.
Like what's the collective doing?
Exactly.
Really,
That's the point. What I want to do is to be able to make familiar constellations. I don't know how you say that. Yeah. Like everybody around in the room, and you see the links between people. Yeah.
So then are you getting
Yeah. No. But I mean, you have a strong connection regarding to this kind of prospect with this person, and a strong connection regarding this kind of things with another person, because everybody is different anyway. So.
Are you getting a reading from the sun? day's light?
Not directly, but we have some information from the clock.
Right, but if you're getting, like,
Yeah, this one you mean?
it's like, oh, the sun's in like A sharp today, like, uh-oh, like, watch out, but now it's like a B day, you know what I'm saying? If,
No.
Solar output's complicated.
Yeah.
There's a guy in London
Getting there?
that measures the electric conductivity of the DNA.
Yeah.
And if somebody walks in, you get high five.
Okay.
Yeah. But my question was simple. When you said that each organ has its own respiratory, can you give me a bit of clarity on that? What do you mean by that?
There is a pulse.
Pulse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is not on. Yeah.
Like a breathing trainer?
No. A pulse of each organ on each structure. Each structure has its own cyclic pulse. There's actually something else in balance, which is now gray because you need at least 8 meditations to unlock it, which is the time crystal melter, which is a weird concept. A time crystal is a stable structure in time. So it's like a crystal is a stable structure in space. A time crystal is a stable structure in time. And what I want to do is analyze things that are coming back, like thoughts that you cannot get rid of and so on, and melt this time crystal. Okay. So for that, I will need at least 8 meditations. Probably 16 would be better. And I would use. Okay, so how it works in 1 minute. You will accept to receive notifications on your phone at any time of the day, reminding you of your priorities. Okay? And this will come at precise healthy moments. And it will ask you for 5 seconds of your attention. Like you read the notification, you focus on your organ, and that's all. Okay?
Wow. Crystalline time. No?
Yeah. And that will be the crystal time melter. Time crystal melter.
And on that note,
you have to stay on
kind of out of time.
Yeah.
Know yourself, know
It
your
was wonderful. Amazing
You didn't
minds,
speak a
yes?
lot. So this is Stephen.
For the second half of the presentation.
Stephen is helping him line this up.